Taurus. One choice will rewrite 12 years of your life. The clock is ticking, Taurus. Listen carefully because this is not a normal message, and this is not a normal moment in your life. One single decision standing in front of you right now has the power to rewrite the next 12 years of your destiny, not symbolically, not emotionally, but structurally, karmically, and energetically. The clock is already ticking whether you acknowledge it or not, and the universe does not slow down for hesitation, comfort, or fear. This window does not stay open because you feel unready. It opens because the timing is precise. Taurus, you have always believed that stability protects you, that holding on keeps you safe, that waiting just a little longer will somehow make the choice clearer. But what if this time waiting is the very thing that closes the door forever? What if the safety you are clinging to is no longer safety, but a delay that quietly locks you into another 12-year loop of the same lessons, the same losses, the same silent regrets, repeating themselves again and again? Ask yourself this honestly, without judgment, without defense. Are you holding on because it is truly aligned with your soul, or because letting go would force you to step into the unknown? Taurus, this question is not random. It is being asked now because the universe is testing something deeper than your patience. It is testing your willingness to trust the calling you have been feeling but avoiding. You feel it in your body, in the restlessness that won't go away, in the quiet dissatisfaction that no amount of comfort seems to soothe anymore. You may not talk about it, but you know it is there. And here is the truth most Taurus do not want to hear. Many before you stood at this exact energetic crossroads in the last cycle. They hesitated. They chose familiarity over alignment. They chose comfort over truth. And the cost was not immediate, which made it more dangerous. The cost unfolded slowly over 12 long years. Through stagnation, missed opportunities, emotional heaviness, and the haunting feeling of knowing they were meant for something more, but never fully stepping into it. Right now, you are being offered two paths, and neither one will announce itself loudly. One path feels calm, predictable, and safe. The other feels uncertain, slightly uncomfortable, and alive. Choosing now means growth. Not choosing means being carried forward by momentum that does not care about your dreams. Taurus understand this clearly. Not choosing is still a choice, and it is often the most expensive one. If you are watching this at this moment, it is not coincidence. It means you are standing at the exact intersection where timelines split. This is the point where fate does not force you, but invites you. Where karma does not punish you, but asks if you are ready to complete a cycle instead of repeating it. There is a reason your attention was pulled here. There is a reason these words are reaching you now. You are not early. You are not late. You are exactly on time. And what comes next in this video is not meant for everyone. It is meant for the Taurus who feels that something big is shifting beneath the surface of their life, even if they cannot explain it yet. This video will not tell you what to do in a superficial way. It will show you which choice opens the flow of abundance, alignment, and long-term stability, and which choice quietly seals the door to it. If you are ready to protect your future, if you are ready to stop repeating cycles that no longer serve you, stay with me. Do not scroll away. Do not dismiss this as coincidence. The next moments are where destiny begins to reveal itself, and Taurus, the universe, is watching how you respond. If you feel this message in your chest, Take a second right now and like this video to anchor the energy, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the guidance that follows, and share this message with another Taurus who may be standing at the same crossroads without realizing it yet. Stay here. The next part is where the truth starts unfolding. Taurus, now that you are still here, it means your soul is ready to receive what astrologers call a cosmic download, the kind that does not come often and never comes by accident. In astrology, there are many cycles, but very few shape the architecture of an entire life. The 12-year cycle is one of them because it governs how growth, security, values, and long-term stability are built or broken over time. For Taurus, this cycle is especially powerful because you are ruled by the principle of preservation. You do not move quickly, you do not gamble lightly, and you do not change unless something inside you knows the ground beneath your feet has already shifted. That is why, when a 12-year reset activates for Taurus, it is not subtle. It is profound, and it touches the foundations of money, relationships, self-worth, and the way you define safety itself. Right now, Taurus, you are standing at a rare reset point that does not repeat for more than a decade. This is not a yearly fluctuation, not a passing mood, not a short-term transit. This is the moment when the universe recalibrates your long-term trajectory. Think of it as the difference between rearranging furniture and rebuilding the structure of a house. What is happening now is structural. The planetary energies influencing you are not asking for surface changes. They are pressing directly on your financial patterns, your relationship contracts, and the quiet beliefs you hold about what you deserve and what you must tolerate to feel secure. This is why everything feels heavier, more serious, more consequential than usual. Your soul understands that this choice echoes far beyond the present moment. Astrologically, this reset works like a domino effect. One decision, one yes or no, one moment of courage or hesitation sends a ripple forward that touches multiple areas of your life. Money is not just money here. It is tied to self-worth. Relationships are not just about love or loyalty. They are mirrors reflecting whether you value peace over growth or truth over comfort. Even your sense of identity is under review. Taurus, you are being asked to choose between who you have been surviving as and who you are meant to become. This is why the pressure feels internal rather than external. No one may be forcing you, but something deeper is calling you. Understand this clearly. This is not luck. This is not randomness. This moment is the result of accumulated karmic momentum. Every time you stayed when your intuition whispered to leave, every time you chose stability at the cost of expansion, every time you postponed your truth to keep the peace. It added weight to this crossroads. In Buddhist philosophy, this is called the ripening of causes. Nothing appears suddenly. Everything matures until the moment it must be resolved. Taurus. This is resolution energy. The universe is not punishing you. It is offering you completion, but completion requires participation. There are two timelines opening in front of you now. The first is the familiar one. It looks stable on the surface. It promises predictability. It whispers that you can endure just a little longer, that change can wait, that tomorrow will be safer. But this timeline is built on false stability. It maintains the outer shape of security while slowly draining your inner vitality. The second timeline feels different. It is not reckless, but it is uncomfortable. It asks you to move before every detail is guaranteed. It asks you to trust your inner alignment over external reassurance. The discomfort here is temporary, but the reward is long-term. This path opens flow abundance and a deeper sense of peace because it aligns your actions with your soul's truth. This is where Taurus psychology is tested most intensely. You fear loss, but you crave real stability. And real stability does not come from holding on to what has expired. It comes from building something that can grow with you. Delaying this choice may feel neutral, but it is not. Delay is a decision, and it carries a cost. In astrology, missed windows do not disappear quietly. They turn into heavier lessons later. The universe is gentle at first. Then it becomes firm. Taurus, you are still in the gentle phase, but it will not last forever. The universe has placed you at a point where later is no longer an option. This is not meant to scare you. It is meant to awaken you. When the Buddha spoke of right timing, he taught that wisdom is not just knowing what to do, but knowing when to do it. Taurus, the timing is now. You do not need to rush, but you do need to be honest. You do not need to leap blindly, but you do need to stop pretending that nothing is changing. Something already has. As you listen to this, notice what your body feels. That reaction is your compass. If you feel resistance, it means something real is being touched. If you feel excitement mixed with fear, it means a new timeline is within reach. This video is guiding you step by step because this choice deserves clarity, not pressure. Stay with this message. Like this video to anchor the energy of awareness. Subscribe to this channel so you stay connected to guidance that protects your future. And share this with another Taurus who may be standing at the same karmic edge without knowing it yet. The universe has already opened the door. What happens next depends on how consciously you walk through it. Taurus, what you are about to hear now is not meant to comfort you, it is meant to wake you. In Buddhist teaching, suffering does not come from loss itself, it comes from attachment, from clinging to what we believe keeps us safe, even after it has stopped nourishing us. And Taurus, more than any other sign, you carry the karmic imprint of holding on. You hold on to people long after the connection has grown heavy. You hold on to money even when fear rather than wisdom is guiding you. You hold on to roles, titles, routines, and versions of yourself that once made sense but no longer reflect who you are becoming. This is not a flaw. It is a lesson your soul chose to master. But every lesson has a completion point, and you are approaching yours now. The Buddha taught that attachment often disguises itself as responsibility, loyalty, or stability. For Taurus, attachment hides behind the word security. You tell yourself that staying is mature, that enduring is strength, that letting go is reckless. Yet look closely at your life right now. Many of the things you call stable feel heavy. They drain your energy. They repeat the same emotional patterns. They no longer expand you. This is not coincidence. This is what in Buddhist philosophy is called tan duyen, the end of a karmic connection. When a bond has completed its purpose, it does not disappear gently if we refuse to release it. Instead, it tightens. It becomes uncomfortable. It creates friction, fatigue, and emotional exhaustion. Taurus, if something in your life feels like a weight instead of a foundation, it has already reached the end of its karmic agreement with you. Here is the truth most people fear to face. When you do not let go at the moment of completion, karma will eventually do it for you, and it will not ask for permission. This is not punishment. It is balance. The universe is precise, not cruel. Loss only feels violent when we resist it. When we understand it, loss becomes liberation. Taurus, your fear of losing has kept you loyal to situations that no longer honor your growth. But what if what you call loss is actually the return of your energy, your time, your self-respect, and your future? What if what is leaving your life now is making space for something that cannot arrive while your hands are full of the past? Pay attention to your emotions lately. The heaviness you feel when you wake up. The tiredness that rest does not fix. The sense of repeating the same conversations, the same frustrations, the same compromises. These are not signs of failure. They are signs of old karma completing its cycle. In Buddhism, repetition without transformation is the clearest signal that a lesson has been learned but not released. Taurus, you have learned the lesson of endurance. You have proven your loyalty. You have paid your dues. You do not need to suffer longer to earn permission to move on. Listen to this carefully, because it is the key to this entire phase. Letting go does not take anything from you. Letting go returns you to yourself. When you release what has expired, you reclaim the energy that was trapped maintaining it. That energy becomes clarity, it becomes courage, it becomes opportunity. Say this with me, even if only inside your mind. Letting go does not take anything from me. It gives me myself back. This is not weakness. This is spiritual maturity. Right now, you are standing before a spiritual choice, not a practical one. You can continue to carry karma that has already completed its purpose, or you can close the loop consciously and step forward, lighter, clearer, and more aligned. One path feels familiar and heavy. The other feels uncertain, but truthful. Buddhism teaches that right action is rarely the easiest action, but it is always the liberating one. Taurus. This decision may not feel comfortable, but it is correct. And correct decisions create long-term peace, not short-term relief. Do not rush yourself, but do not lie to yourself either. You already know what you are holding on to out of fear. You already know what feels finished, but unresolved. This part of the journey is about honesty, not force. The universe is not demanding that you destroy your life. It is inviting you to stop shrinking within it. If something requires you to abandon your peace to keep it, it is not aligned with your future. As this realization settles in, notice what shifts inside you. That soft release, that quiet recognition, that feeling of truth landing without noise. That is awakening, and awakening is the most powerful protection you can have. If this message resonates, pause for a moment and like this video to anchor the energy of release. Subscribe to this channel so you stay guided through the rest of this transformation. And share this with another Taurus who may be suffering silently, believing endurance is the only option. You are not losing anything. You are completing a cycle. And what comes next is lighter, freer, and more abundant than what you are leaving behind. Taurus. What comes next is not prediction in the ordinary sense. It is a warning that echoes through time. The spirit of Baba Vanga's prophecies was never about fear, it was about recognition. She warned that humanity does not lose its destiny because fate is cruel, but because people hesitate when the moment of choice arrives. Opportunities appear quietly disguised as ordinary decisions, and those who wait for certainty miss the door while standing right in front of it. Taurus, this message reaches you now, because you are standing in one of those moments. The signs have already appeared. Not once, not twice, but repeatedly. A conversation that unsettled you, a feeling you could not shake, a pattern that kept repeating until it demanded your attention. Each time you sensed something was trying to redirect you, and each time you told yourself it could wait. But the universe does not repeat signs forever. It repeats them only until the lesson is recognized. Understand this clearly. The universe does not test you with dramatic gestures. It tests you with subtle choices that feel small in the moment but expand across years. A single decision to stay, a single decision to speak or remain silent, a single decision to trust comfort or follow truth. Baba Vanga spoke of doors that open once, not because time is unfair, but because growth requires commitment. Taurus. This is one of those doors. It does not look extraordinary from the outside. It looks like an ordinary fork in the road. But one path continues a familiar pattern, and the other rewrites your future. If you stay on the first path, life does not collapse. That is what makes it deceptive. Things continue. You function. You survive. But inside, something dims. Over time, the same themes repeat. The same financial pressures. The same relationship dynamics. The same compromises that slowly erode your sense of self. 12 years pass, not with catastrophe, but with quiet resignation. This is the path of unconscious continuity. It feels safe because nothing explodes, yet it costs you expansion. It costs you momentum. It costs you the version of yourself you were meant to become. The second path feels different immediately. It feels uncertain. It asks you to act before you have every answer. It disrupts routine. It challenges your definition of safety. But this path carries movement. It opens new financial flow because it aligns your actions with your values. It restructures relationships because it no longer tolerates imbalance. It strengthens self-worth because you choose yourself without apology. This path does not promise ease, but it promises truth. And truth. Taurus is what creates real stability. Here is what matters most. You will not need logic to recognize the right choice. The mind will argue. The heart will know. Taurus intuition is physical. It speaks through the body. A tightening when something is wrong. A calm clarity when something is right, even if it scares you. When the moment comes, you will feel it instantly. That is not imagination. That is alignment. Baba Vanga warned that people miss destiny when they silence that knowing in favor of fear. Taurus do not confuse fear with intuition. Fear contracts. Intuition expands. Choosing incorrectly does not destroy your life. This is important to understand. The universe is not vindictive, but choosing against alignment locks you into repetition. It keeps you circling the same lessons until you are ready to face them. 12 years can pass quickly when growth is postponed. 12 years can feel heavy when lived without purpose. This is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to sharpen your awareness. You are not being threatened. You are being entrusted. Taurus, you are not being forced. You are being offered agency. Fate is not happening to you. It is waiting for your participation. The most powerful truth Baba Vanga revealed was that destiny responds to consciousness. When you choose deliberately, you change the timeline. When you avoid choosing the timeline, chooses for you. Right now, power is in your hands. The universe has paused just long enough for you to see the choice clearly. It will not pause indefinitely. There will be a moment, subtle but unmistakable, when realization lands fully. It may arrive through a sentence, a silence, a sudden clarity. And in that moment, you will understand that the clock has already started. Not to rush you, but to honor the precision of timing. Taurus. This is the point of no return, not because you cannot go back, but because you will never unknow what you know now. As you feel this message settle, breathe. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your chest expand. This is not about panic. This is about readiness. If this resonates, it means your future self is already leaning toward you, waiting for the decision that sets everything in motion. Like this video now, to anchor your awareness. Subscribe to this channel so you stay guided as the next steps unfold. Share this message with another Taurus whose soul may recognize these words before their mind does. Stay with me. The next moment is where choice becomes action, and action becomes destiny. Taurus, if you are still here, it means you have reached the correct crossroads. Not by accident, not by habit, but by resonance. Something inside you already knew not to leave. This is the moment where understanding turns into commitment, where awareness becomes direction. Before we go any further, pause with me. Close your eyes for a brief second. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose and let it out gently through your mouth. As you breathe, allow one image to rise in your mind. The thing you have been hesitating about. The decision you keep postponing. The choice that feels small on the surface but heavy in your chest. Do not analyze it. Just notice it. This is the point where your timeline waits for your instruction. Taurus, throughout this entire message, nothing has been forced on you. You were not threatened. You were not pushed. You were invited. That is how true power works. In astrology, the most decisive moments are quiet. In Buddhism, the most important choices happen internally, long before the outer world reflects them. And in prophecy, the future shifts not when fate strikes, but when consciousness responds. Right now, you are not being asked to prove anything to anyone. You are being asked to choose alignment over repetition. Say this silently, or say it out loud if you feel called to. I choose the timeline that serves my soul. Feel how your body reacts when you say that. If there is resistance, it means an old attachment is loosening. If there is calm, it means truth is settling in. This is how timelines lock. Not through dramatic declarations, but through intentional acknowledgement. Every conscious choice sends a signal. In spiritual terms, it signals readiness. In energetic terms, it signals coherence. And in practical terms, it signals the algorithm, the collective field, the unseen network that amplifies aligned decisions. Taurus. When you comment below, you are not just typing words. You are declaring a direction. You are marking a moment in time. That is why this step matters. That is why so many of you feel compelled to engage rather than just watch. Because participation completes the circuit. If you are ready to anchor this decision, comment now with the words, I choose my new timeline. Do not overthink it. Let it be simple. Let it be clean. Each comment acts like a timestamp, a confirmation that you did not look away when it mattered. In the language of energy, acknowledgement is activation. In the language of this platform interaction, ensures this message reaches the Taurus who needs it next. The universe works through both the seen and the unseen, and right now they are aligned. Taurus, understand this deeply. You are not alone in this moment. There are others watching who feel the same tightening, the same clarity, the same quiet urgency. Some will scroll away, some will hesitate. But those who act even in a small way shift their relationship with time itself. Sharing this video is not about promotion. It is about transmission. There is another Taurus standing where you stood minutes ago, unsure, distracted, sensing something important but not fully grasping it yet. When you share this message, you become part of the signal that reaches them at the exact right moment. This channel exists for one reason: to guide you through cycles, not just inform you about them, to help you recognize windows, not just describe them. Subscribing is not about loyalty to a creator. It is about staying connected to guidance that arrives when timing matters. You are entering a new phase, and every phase requires orientation. This is where you receive it. This is where you learn how to move forward without carrying unnecessary weight from the past. Before we close, return once more to your breath. Inhale slowly. Exhale fully. Feel the ground beneath you. Taurus energy is grounded energy. You do not need chaos to change your life. You need clarity and commitment. Nothing about this choice requires you to rush, but everything about it requires you to be present. You have done that by staying. You have done that by listening. Now you complete it by acting. Remember this. Choosing a new timeline does not mean rejecting your past. It means honoring it enough to stop repeating it. It means using what you have learned as a foundation, not a prison. The universe does not ask you to abandon who you are. It asks you to become who you already know yourself to be. If this message resonated like the video now, to seal the awareness you have gained. Comment. I choose my new timeline to lock in your intention. Share this with someone who may need permission to choose differently, and subscribe so you stay guided as this new chapter unfolds. The clock is still moving, Taurus, but this time you did not turn away. You stood at the threshold and you chose consciously. That is how destinies are rewritten.